Hey guys, and welcome to a special episode on skills. In today's video, I want to talk about the changes that came with the Christmas patch, trying to explain why they happened and who will be the main target of them. A lot of you were wondering what this patch has done with your skills, your skill gain, and overall goals to achieve maxing out those skills. Just in case you were wondering, I will say the word skills a lot in this video, as this video is sponsored by Skills, the ultimate way to get good. After checking on the skills itself, there seems to be some minor changes. As we had 75% increased sprint speed before, we now have 77%, and the same goes for other perks with endurance and strength. Since these changes are only minor, and I am not sure if they are truly implemented affecting your speed and raids, I won't go into too much detail about them. I also don't know if this was intended by Battlestate Games or not. The big change that happened was how you now will be awarded with skill points. But before we dive into it, I want you to familiarize with two new symbols that you will encounter once you are in raid looking at your skills. When you spawn in a raid and navigate to your skill tab, you will see that every not maxed out skill has a little blue triangle on the right hand side of the skill bar. What that means and why it is there will be explained in a bit. After using a skill for a while, the blue triangle will disappear, and if used a little more, a red triangle will show at the place where the blue one was. This already indicates three states of your skill: blue, none, red. Because there was not super much time for me until I released this video, I was only able to put in around 15 hours to research this in-game. So if you see any mistakes, feel free to point them out. Please stick to facts rather than assumptions though. In 11.7 and 0.12, the skill gain was straightforward. For endurance, you would walk and be rewarded with skill points over time. For assault rifle, you would hit someone or reload an AR and get points for that. The new patch did introduce a new system that might aim to prevent the concentrated leveling of skills, cheesing of skills, and reaching maximum skills within a short period time, as in weeks. This should prevent standing in the fire maxing out certain skills really fast, but I will talk about especially that later. The new skill system is a mixture of time phases and skill points gathered that seemingly block you from gaining new points. The first phase is depicted by the blue triangle, and I call it the boost phase. The second phase is the so-called normal phase, where the blue triangle disappears, and the third phase is the exhaustion phase. The boost phase seems to reward you with an increased skill gain that is somewhere between 120 to 130% of the normal skill gain from the patches before, without the 40% hideout boost. The normal phase grants you the exact amount of skill points. This is where the blue triangle has disappeared. In the third phase, the exhaustion phase, your skill gain goes down rapidly until it ends up with around 1% of your normal skill gain. So in this phase, if you continue leveling a skill, you will be rewarded with points, but only with 1% of what you were making during your normal gain phase. If you now wait 301 seconds without doing a particular skill, that skill will refresh back to the normal phase. The boost phase seems to be only active when you start fresh into a raid. This could be your fourth phase, the pause phase. After you went through the pause phase, the cycle continues with the normal phase and so on. Do not forget, if you repeat the skill within the pause phase, the timer will reset. So if you're leveling endurance and you're walking after you reach the exhaustion phase, the timer will reset to the 300 seconds you need to get to the normal phase again. With this implemented, BSG made sure you can't get more than 4 skill points before you reach the pause phase. It is then up to you if you want to continue with 1% skill gain or wait for 5 minutes before you continue. As far as we were able to tell, the first 2.8 to 3 skill points are within the boost phase, the fourth one is in the normal phase, and 0 to 0.2 are in the exhaustion phase. To help you with some numbers, from what we calculated without the 40% boost from your hideout, which by the way would help you reach the exhaustion phase sooner, before you needed 188 raids times 50 minutes, so around 157 hours to reach max endurance. A normal player that just plays the game, surviving each raid, and spending at least 30 minutes walking within that raid will need about 470 hours within the new system. While, if you concentrate on leveling endurance and keeping the pauses, you will need 235 hours within the new system. So here's the big question. Who is affected by all of this? I assume you already did guess it right. It is the casual players that can't or do not want to spend the concentrated time on leveling skills. If my calculations are not too far off, as a casual player, you will not be able to maximize 90% of the skills within a normal wipe phase that takes approximately 6 months. Not even if it took 10. That is fine with me, but I'd like to ask, who is going to test maxed out skills now? Anyway, let me know in the comments what you're thinking, but please keep it civil though. Lastly, in order to quickly demonstrate the phases, I went into an offline raid and tested the famous fire spot on Shoreline. Although the new system might have aimed at stopping people from doing this, as you can see, I still gained some good points out of this. Even in the exhaustion phase, in the pause phase as well, it would be worth doing it for most people who just want the skill to the point where the task is fulfilled. So, does the new system really work as intended? Let me know what you think. Right guys, that's it from me for now. If you have any questions, then please let me know. If you want to watch me live, you know where to find me. And I would really appreciate a follow and a like. And I'll see you in the next episode. Have a good one, guys. Bye bye.